Hello, welcome to Dev Radio. I am here with Gibran and Antonio, who were the winning team for our December Innovation Challenge Hackathon. Thank you for joining us today. Looking forward to learning about what you did.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and start off with my first question is, just tell us about your background in technology in Azure. How long have you been building AI on Azure? Gibran, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. This is a funny question because my background is actually I'm a visual artist who just learned to code 10 years ago, doing virtual reality applications for medical purposes. So it's kind of a weird mix in background.
Cool.
I gained experience in the industry of AI as soon as 2018. Because I started to be involved in climate tech projects that involved analyzing images from satellites. So it's how I started my path to using not only Azure, but AI in general. So I started doing experiments actually with Azure Cloud when the first ML services started to be available. So my approach to it has been very experimental. I think I consider even now, when I joined the hackathon, I still like experimenting with the services, with prompt flow, and yeah. In summary, that's my background. And I would like to let Antonio to share his background and continue the conversation.
Okay, great. So in my case, actually, I am a mathematician. Previously, I got a degree in mechanical engineering. But regarding my experience with AI generative models, uh, I was just a basic user of tools like ChatGPT and so on. And this hackathon provide me the opportunity to look at these tools with new eyes, right? As for Azure, I started exploring it when I joined the Código Facilito program for this hackathon. So I learned a lot from this from them, right? And I enrolled the bootcamp that their bootcamp they have for taking the Azure Developer certification exam, and that's it. Right. I'm pretty new to the Azure platform, right? But I definitely and I am opening my eyes to a new world of possibilities. Is I believe that it is just incredible what could be achieved, right? Through the use of the services that we have.
Yeah. So for the hackathon, the way the hackathon works is, I put forward problems, use cases from real world Azure customers. And the one that you guys took on was a really hard one. AI observability. It's a broad topic. The idea is we've got, people are already building very complex systems using AI in Azure. And if you want to trust AI, you need to be able to understand when it's hallucinating, when it's doing bad things, when the models are drifting. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's a problem that internally at Microsoft we're all trying to get better and better at. And so the challenge is pretty broad. I wasn't very specific, but it's the one you guys picked. So tell me about sort of how you thought through it and what you built.
Okay, so as you say, it was a pretty broad area, right? We thought how to tackle it And we finally got the idea that mm, we we could ask ourselves about things regarding two areas, right? When we are deploying an application using language models. One of these areas is metrics and the performance of the infrastructure itself and the application. Uh, Things like for example, the time of response, the use of resources, right?
Mhm.
The other area is the performance and the metrics related to the model itself, like okay, the relevance, the coherence, the fluency of the response we get. Um, we try to finally centralize the metrics we get from these two sources in Azure in order to to perform to deploy a model and using a array retrieval augmented generation uh, for let's say providing these metrics, right? This monitoring in a user-friendly manner from the relevant metrics, as well as providing insights as much as possible. But what we are trying to achieve, that's what we built. But what we are trying to achieve is actually to build an agentic ray, right? Because the difference between observability and monitoring is precisely that observability uh, is related to why things are
Yeah.
doing this way, and monitoring is what. And for getting deeper insight into this, for example, an agent can perform actions, right, and modify, for example, parts of the user prompt and measure how the quality of the response changes. And with that, we want to in the future we are working on that to build the first to the best of our knowledge the first visual tool for prompt analytics, right? In
Yeah.
the market,
Yeah.
right?
I think I really appreciate you distinguishing the difference between monitoring being the what is happening and observability being the why. Because I remember you sent mail to me saying, "Hey Matt, can you clarify this?" And I sent you a very long response.
Mhm.
But if I had heard you say that before, I would have said, "Oh, monitoring is the what, and observability is the why. Go for it." But so that's good. Uh, Gibran, as the visual the person with the visual artist background, um, the how did you? I assume you did a lot of the work on sort of representing both the what and the why in the solution. How do you think about this? This problem and helping people like getting to the point of prompt um, analysis. Where do you want to go with that, and how did you think about it?
Yeah, actually, the way we decided to dig in this problem, it was visual. Actually, I remember talking with Antonio. One of the first ideas to it was to visualize this problem, and to me, it was kind of a surprise that observability systems are not that common in AI.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the machine learning operations teams or LLM operations,
Mm-hmm.
they used to to get this information in a very indirect way. So I told Antonio, what if we could see this through a kind of a dashboard or an observatory to understand this as if it was a health monitoring of a person, and where you have these indicators with with this time series organized in a meaningful way. I think that was one of the first approaches to it, be how to imagine things as an image, as a dashboard, or way of communicating those metrics. And by the way, to explain the observability, uh, we just not have metrics, but traces, logs, and every single piece of information derived from the interaction of the user with the model. And also, we imagine this RAG that Antonio mentioned that makes sense of the input data from the time series. As you know, this is information that changes through the time, so it's hard to think about it as a static piece of information. So
Yeah.
also this part of imagining visually, uh, it happened at the time of making the architecture of the system, because we imagine how to connect a RAG, how the different services of Azure are integrated. So I think images and visual communication and visual thinking, it was super important for our process.
Yeah. And I'll be sure that I get a link to the GitHub repo so people can check out your project here under the video. I guess my last question is, was it, the whole process of, getting certified and then doing the hackathon, was it a good use of your time? Do you think it's going to help you? I mean, I know Microsoft is actually kind of interested in your project, and we're going to try to help you take it to the next steps if we can. But do you see this helping your careers? Will it help you figure out what's next once you figure out how to finish up your master's there, Antonio? Yeah.
Well, my master. Well, once I finish my master, which is the thesis is about combinatorial field theory, something related to pure math. But finally, I was so surprised about finding some quite interesting and profound mathematical concepts relating to prompt analysis. For example, the use of some mathematical tools from algebraic topology, from analyzing coherence of in a text, right? Um, so I I believe that I could contribute uh, with the development of the AI systems, because for this year, actually happening right now, I believe that we are moving towards the years where AI agents, will help and deliver value to to the to the workforce, right, of
Yeah.
companies, right?
Yeah.
And right, this performance of language models as agents uh, should be studied, right, through a mathematical eye. For example, if we talk about hallucination, when we have an agent system, hallucination of one agent propagates through the system, and it should be kept under control. Right. So, as I say, for example, when you have an agent which could perform actions, these two kind of metrics, like the metrics related with the infrastructure and the application, and with the model, overlaps. So observability will evolve as well. So I feel that it will help my career, and I will be able to stay at the edge of the technology, and it will provide plenty of opportunities.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to contribute. Gibran, for you, was this a good use of your time? Did you learn something? you think you got good stories for your next job interview or asking for a raise?
Yeah, definitely. Also, as a software developer, I think it exponentially makes my career to grow because part of how I see things and part of how we try to innovate in this hackathon, it was thinking in a speculative way, imagining this service, this project as a possible or potential service that could add value not only to us but to people who actually work improving models. We consider this is like super relevant at that area. And in my case, I had an approach from the Mexican government to make digital transformation projects. So it's been like the perfect timing
Yeah,
for learning these things.
yeah, that's great to hear. I love that both of you put your answers related to helping the entire community get better. That's one of my favorite things about hackathons is the way that the community comes together to make things that we didn't know how to make, a month ago. So um, I look forward to continuing the conversation with you guys. And thanks a ton for being here and taking the time with us. And congratulations on winning the hackathon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. See you.